this one was too good for me to do a voiceover. So it's a lot going on in this passage. So today I read Genesis 16 through 18. And the first chapter was about Hagar, Ishmael, and Sarai. Before Sarai was changed to Sarah, and before Abram was changed to Abraham. Okay, so they definitely got bored with waiting for the promise that God had given to them. They definitely got bored. So Sarai decided that because it had been so long since God promised Abram that he would be a father of his own child, that she would just give her handmaid to Abram to, you know, get pregnant and bring forth a kid. But after she got pregnant, after Hagar got pregnant, Sarai was mad. Like, she was mad. Sarai was mad, but Hagar was also mad. Hagar was like, I don't like her, so I'm about to roll out because, you know, it's not cool here. But Sarai went to Abram and was like, I gave her to you, you got her pregnant, now she don't like me. And Abram was like, well, she your maid, so you do what you want to do with her. But that was like giving her a license to just treat her dirty. So Sarai was mistreating her, like treating her dirty, like just completely doing her wrong. So when she ran away, God appeared to her and was like, no, don't go. Go back, submit to your master, which I don't understand why they permitted slaves and God permitted slaves back then either, but he did. So he came to Hagar and was like, go back to your masters, go back to Sarah and Abram, and make sure that, you know, you understand that my covenant is with you, that your son will be a father to many nations, and many nations will come from him, kings will come from him, and he'll be great. And his name's gonna be Ishmael. So she was like, all right, bet, I'm going back. So she went back, and God also came back to Abraham and was like, don't forget, I did tell you that you're going to be a father of nations. Like, you're going to have a son from Sarah, and Sarah's children will be the ruler of many nations. And, you know, as much as dust, and dust can't be counted. So we talked about this in the last one. But he was like, but am I going to have a baby at 100 and Sarah had a baby at 90? Like, how's that going to happen? I'm past the point of conception. And he was like, no, you don't believe me? I mean, why you don't believe me? Sarah got scared and was like, I didn't say that. And he was like, yes, you did. You said it. But it's okay. I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to bless you. And this time next year, you're going to have a baby. Your son's going to be named Isaac. And Isaac is where the covenant is coming from. Ishmael will be blessed, but Isaac is where the covenant comes from. So, it doesn't really go on beyond that as far as Isaac and Ishmael are concerned, but that was chapter 16, and chapter 17 was the discussion about circumcision. Y'all know these people got circumcised when they was like well into their age. Abraham was 100 or 99 when he got circumcised. Ishmael was 13 when he got circumcised, and all the people in his house were circumcised on that same day. Like, everybody was circumcised, which, if you don't know what circumcision is, go ahead and pull out your dictionary or Google it, because it's cutting off the foreskin of their penis. And like, at an adult age, it's painful, I'm sure, at a child, you know, as a newborn child. The law was, or the law that got established was that any child that was that turned 8 days old, like at 8 days old, that's when they were supposed to be circumcised. But he made the law after people were already born and grown. So Isaac had to, you know, implement or enforce the law after the fact. So they all had to get circumcised after that. But they was grown-ups getting their tallywhackers circumcised, getting cut. And they all went along with it. I mean, I know that there was a blessing and a reward that came afterwards, but I mean, I don't know. But if they didn't get circumcised, then he will withhold his covenant and his promise from those people. So anybody that wanted to inherit the promise had to be circumcised. Okay, so that was chapter 17. And chapter 18 was about three men of God that came to visit Abraham. This was after their names were changed to Abraham and Sarah. And he, fed them. He had food cooked for them, gave them water so they could wash their feet, sit down, rest for a while. And they were coming because they were going down to assess the cities, or the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, because God was deciding to destroy them. But in this chapter, Abraham, he just kept going to God like, hey, what if you find 50 people? You still want to destroy the cities? And God was like, if I find 50 people, I won't destroy it. 50 righteous people out of all the wicked people that's there, I won't destroy it. And then he was like, okay, well, hold up. Wait. If you find 45 people instead of 50 people, will you, still destroy the town because it's 5 less than the 50 that you said you would save the city for? He was like, no, I'll do that for you. If I find 45 people, I won't destroy the town. He was like, okay, wait. If you find 40 people and not 45 people, but it's less than the 45 people that I asked you about before, are you still going to destroy the cities? He was like, no, I'll do that for you. If I find 40 people, I won't destroy it. He was like, okay. Since we on this path, let me keep putting my bid in. So he was like, if you find 30 people, will you destroy the city? Because it's not 40, it's 30. He was like, nope. If I find 30 people, I won't destroy the city. He was like, okay. If you find 20 people, will you destroy the city? Because it's less than 30. Like, are you going to destroy it if it's less than 30? Isn't their lives, or aren't their lives important enough to be saved, for the city to be saved? He was like, if I find 20 people, I will save the city. He was like, okay, this is my last time asking. If you find 10 people, will you destroy the city because it's not the 20 that you last said that you will save the city for? He was like, no. If I find just 10 people, I will save the city. And he left it at that. He didn't ask God no more. He was like, okay, well, I feel pretty confident. I'm sure Abram felt pretty confident that God could find 10 people. But I'm not on chapter 19, which is where it says that Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed. So in my mind, God didn't find them 10 people. It was pretty corrupt and pretty evil. So I am looking forward to chapter 19. But this was super enlightening because I didn't know that Hagar and Sarai were at odds with each other. I didn't know that Sarai mistreated her. It was her idea for her to get pregnant in the first place. I didn't understand why she got mad that what she planned actually came forth. Like, that was the whole point, because you didn't think that God's promise was going to come to pass in your life. So you gave your maid to your husband to get pregnant so that the promise could be fulfilled by any means necessary. But once you took matters into your own hand, the repercussions or the response was not what you wanted. So that was super exciting to me. I like it, but I guess ultimately it was just reminding me that if God gave me a promise, that I'm not supposed to take it into my own hands. And even in the scripture asks, is anything too hard for God? No, it's nothing too hard for God. If he can get a 90-year-old woman pregnant by a 100-year-old man, he can do anything. Like, that's way beyond childbearing. That's, you don't have your cycle no more. Way beyond, like way beyond. So I don't believe that there's anything that's too hard for God, but sometimes you just have to remember that if he said he's going to do it, that it's going to come to pass, and not try to take matters into your own hand and speed it up and like insert your own methods in the process. Like, sometimes you have to be comfortable in the process while God is is growing you up. Sometimes the process is necessary to build you up and to strengthen you, even if it's hard. Even if the process is hard, sometimes you just have to go through to get to the other side of the promise. And I'm living that right now. I'm living it. But yeah, this was a really good one for me. Last night was pretty weird, common. I don't even remember what I read. I probably have to read it again because it was just, you know, it was just an okay reading. It wasn't really anything spectacular. So I don't know if the devotional will get better, but after the first day, it just really didn't get that good. I still have questions that I have to answer in this one that is leading this one. So there are 4 questions. First question is, when you were faced with an impossibility, how did you handle it? After this lesson, how will you handle those impossibilities going forward? The second question is, what has this lesson taught you about your faith? The third question is, what areas have you discovered where you are strong in faith? What areas have you discovered where your faith needs to be strengthened? And the fourth question is, after this lesson, what are some impossibilities that you would commit to prayer? So I'm still working on answering those questions because I'm not quite through this lesson, because this one goes through, let's see, I have 2 more days. So today is day 5. Day 6 is tomorrow, which is chapters 19 through 21. And day 7 is like a rest day. I'm supposed to finish up all of these questions. So I'm going to read tomorrow's lessons tomorrow, and then on Sunday I will go through and answer these questions. I may just come and do a chit chat about my answers for the questions, and then the actions I'm supposed to take for the week are also here, and I'll discuss how I'm going to deal with that on Sunday as well. So this was good today. I really enjoyed it. I'll check back in with you guys tomorrow. Bye.